Now, I've seen a lot of like really dumb takes when it comes to WNBA, takes from people that are very clearly just not watching the sport, and this might take the crown. This might take the crown as a like you are not watching the sport, and I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure whatever this person says, who is Key Delaney. Solid. All my women's basketball takes are correct. Number one Caitlin Clark fan. In fairness, or no, 2.5 million tuned on to watch one live stream game. Yeah, that's just not true. Describe Caitlin Clark in one word. Number one Caitlin Clark hater. I'm not entirely sure what sport you are watching, but I'm not like... I don't even know how off... I can't even begin to describe to you how different these players are. By the way, that's not saying that Angel Reese isn't great. I'm not saying that. But they're just not even remotely similar. But anyway, before we get on to things, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are only 9 subscribers off hitting 19k. If we could hit that by the end of the day, that would be insane. But anyway, we're talking about two players that don't play remotely the same. We're talking about what are similarities. They're both roughly the same height. They both wear one leg sleeve and they're both left-handed. I don't know. One wears a shooting sleeve, one wears a shoulder sleeve. I don't know. Like, there are no similarities between their game. There are actually no similarities. One is the best player the world has seen. One is like, has no game on offense. One is maybe the most skilled offensive big in the league. The other has, look, Angel Reese, by the way, I'll triple down on this. When Angel Reese gets some game, and the fact she hit 2 3-pointers, and she's shooting them with a little bit more confidence, if she starts shooting that mid-range with confidence and gets a bit of game, but like you're looking at A'ja Wilson, who is a threat to fade from mid anywhere. Once she gets the ball, she's a threat going to the basket. Her finishing's exceptional. She's like, she can pull up on a dime, shoot the mid-range. She's got skill. She is very much left-hand dominant, but it is what it is. She's got so much skill. She's a much better Angel Reese is not a bad free throw shooter. She's a much better free throw shooter. Her footwork's significantly better. She's a shot blocker. Whereas Angel Reese is a perimeter defender. Like, Angel Reese is a perimeter post defender, as in she can guard your Breanna Stewarts, who are like your fours that don't play in the post. She can guard your Neko Wumakes really well. But she's really struggled. By the way, Angel Reese has really struggled guarding Wilson. Wilson was just too big for Angel Reese. Whereas, like, Angel Reese, her offensive game is living off scraps. Because she doesn't have that much game. Again, she's able to live off, she's able to get those offensive rebounds. Angel Reese is a way better offensive rebounder than A'ja Wilson is. She is a way better offensive rebounder. A'ja Wilson is a better defensive rebounder than Angel Reese, by quite a lot. Unless the ball lands in Angel Reese's hands, she's normally not the greatest defensive rebounder. But again, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. If you're a big playing 40 minutes a game, you're going to get those rebounds. Doesn't mean that it's not impressive, but I'm significantly more impressed when it comes to Angel Reese, a better offensive rebounding than her defensive rebounding. I think her offensive rebounding is something the league has never seen. I think she's an average defensive rebounder. But when it comes to A'ja Wilson's a very good defensive rebounder. Not the greatest offensive rebounder. She'll get them, but not nearly at the level of Angel Reese. But you're looking at two players that don't play in any way similar. You're looking at a Joakim Noah type player. And if you think that's a knock on Angel Reese, Joakim Noah was 4th in MVP voting one year. You're looking at a Joakim Noah type player, and then you're looking at your Tim Duncan. Not even your Tim Duncan. Your mixture between Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. Maybe Kevin Garnett's a better. You're looking at one of the best inside defenders, maybe the best inside defender, other than maybe Ezi Magbagor in the league, versus someone who has 4 blocks on the season, who really struggles with guarding physical players. Like, Tina Charles has destroyed Angel Reese, but that's fine. Like, Tina Charles is one of the greatest of all time. It happens. But Angel Reese is the best at guarding your Breanna Stewarts. She's the best in the league at guarding a Alyssa Thomas. She's the best in the league at being that specific type of a defender. She's way better than A'ja Wilson is at guarding perimeter players. Because she's defensively a perimeter defender, but offensively, she is just your hustle player rebounder. She's like a mixture between a Rodman and a Joakim Noah. Like, as far as the ability to take the ball up the floor, to pass, to push, to break, A'ja Wilson's better. Angel Wilson's better, and I know people are like, oh, but like she has like a metal plate in her leg. Cool. That doesn't make any difference. And like, is it impressive? Doesn't make it more impressive? Yeah, but that doesn't make a difference what they do on the court. But like, we are looking at two players that don't play remotely similar. They don't play remotely similar. This makes absolutely no sense. They have the same DNA. Obviously, the number one Caitlin Clark hater, it seems. But as a rookie, longest double-double, she'll be greater. How will she... Like, look, I'm sorry. Angel Wilson, peak for peak, is the best player to ever play women's basketball. I think the only player that you might take over them, and I'm not, like, this is even sustained peak, at their very best on any given individual game, the only player that you might take over Angel Wilson right now is Liz Cambage, who might have had 5 games in her career where she was unplayable. But, like, Angel Wilson is probably going to be the greatest of all time. If they win another ring this year, she's probably going to have 3 rings. What's it going to be? 3 rings? 2 finals MVPs, I think, because Chelsea Gray not win one of them. 3 MVPs, 3 Defensive Player of the Years. She's played 7 years in the league. Like, when it's all said and done, she's going, like, this season, Angel Wilson is going to have set the all-time record for points in a season and points per game. Angel Reese obviously is going. The funny thing is, this season, Angel Reese is going to set the all-time record for rebounds in a season. And Caitlin Clark is more than likely going to set the all-time record for assists in a season. Like, this season has been everything the WNBA could have hoped. But, like, not even close. Big says, little says, they're not even the same. They're not even remotely similar. They're not, like, genuinely. There are no players that are even close, by the way, as far as his rookie class to Angel Wilson, just how she plays. There are no bigs. Like, Kiki coming in next year is probably going to be closer as far as similar level of play, just because of her athleticism and the fact she's a little more of an offensive bag to an Angel Wilson than Angel Reese is. Definitely different. Angel's a hooper, like tall hooper. Angel's an average player. That's not true necessarily. And that's the worst thing about it is, like, if you're looking at someone's game, there's so much of a gap between their game. But Angel Reese is so much more effective than her game should be. And that's the best thing about Angel Reese, is that, yeah, she might not have the best game, but she might, like, there was a reason why she wasn't expected to start. There's a reason why people didn't think things were going to translate. She's just got better instincts than she got the best instincts in the league for getting the ball. Whether that's in steals, whether that's playing lanes. And again, she's much better. She's got much quicker hands than Angel Wilson. Like, Angel Reese she is a unique player. There's no comparison right now in the WNBA for Angel Reese. Like, I'm trying to make comparisons. And, like, even the Dennis Rodman comparison, I think she's better offensively than Dennis Rodman was in her equivalent. But she's more Dennis Rodman. She's more of a Dennis Rodman, Joakim Noah than anyone else. Because I do think that she has that ability to pass a little bit. She cuts a little bit. She is more of a Rodman, Joakim Noah. Whereas Angel Wilson is maybe the greatest of all time. She is one of the greatest scorers of all time. She can score from anywhere. She can score from 3. Who's to say Angel Reese won't end up being like Angel Wilson? But if Angel Reese can get the offensive game Angel Wilson gets, I don't think it's going to be possible. Because again, she's the greatest offensive big player of all time in this league. I don't think she will. But if Angel Wilson or Angel Reese somehow starts pulling up for post fades in a couple of years and is shooting pull up middies and shooting threes consistently and attacking her left hand and drawing fouls as much as Asia does and is becomes unguardable going left, with Angel Reese's rebounding, with Angel Reese's quick hands on defense, and with her ability to guard in the perimeter, she becomes the best small forward. Like, if Angel Reese gets a similar game to Angel Wilson, Angel Reese is going to be playing on the perimeter, and she's going to be this complete mismatch. And again, maybe if she ends up even playing remotely close offensively to Angel Wilson, Angel Reese might be the greatest of all time. Like, that's not a joke. But they're not even remotely similar. That's basically like saying, the improvement that Angel Reese has to make in her offensive game to be even remotely similar to Angel Wilson, she would have to maybe make the greatest improvement in the history of professional sports from rookie to like year 5 or 6. Either way, though, look, I think Angel Reese is unbelievable. I think there are 5 players at her position that are significantly better than her, and that's Nneka Onwumike, that is Angel Wilson, Breanna Steward, Fee Collier, and Alyssa Thomas. I think they're significantly better than her. But after that, if you're looking at that 4 position, I think she is fighting, like, she is probably next best. As well as that, if you're looking at the totality of the league, there's no question about it, in a year or two, that she's going to be. I don't think she's going to be within a year or two better than Stewie, better than Aja, or better than Nafisa Collier. I think she's going to be probably fourth in her position in 2 years' time. And that's me saying in 2 years she's going to overtake Neko Wimukane, she's going to overtake Alyssa Thomas. And I think that's I genuinely think that's likely to happen, which is if you think this is disrespectful to Angel Reese, or this is going to be a slander Angel Reese video, no, it's not going to be that. But this is just a dumb take. Like, we're not going to have dumb takes. I'm going to call out dumb takes. Because this is literally like the dumb take of like, Caitlin Clark is not Steph Curry. So, therefore, she's had a bad rookie year. And it's like, no, if you watched all the games at Iowa, almost all the shots Caitlin Clark got were her creating off the dribble. Whereas Steph Curry, if you watch Steph Curry's biggest asset is his cutting, his ability to move off the ball and do all that stuff. Like, they're not even, again, maybe similar to Steph Curry in college, but the Steph Curry that became arguably the best player in the world, the top 10 player of all time, isn't even remotely similar to the player that Caitlin Clark was even in Iowa. The fact is, again, she is more Steve Nash than she is Steph Curry. So it's like really dumb comparisons, and that's not quite as dumb as this. It would be like, say, expecting her to be, I don't know, like, let's just, what point guard is she nowhere even close to being? It's like comparing, that's really good. It's like let's just say Luka Doncic. It's like just comparing Caitlin Clark to Luka Doncic and saying that they're similar just because, I don't know, they're both white point guards, I guess. That's probably that is saying Caitlin Clark is Luka Doncic, is the female Luka, is probably similar as far as how close their games are to saying Angel Reese is A'ja Wilson, because their games aren't remotely similar. A'ja Wilson's the GOAT. Angel Reese is great. They play nothing alike. The only similarity is, I don't know, they're both left-handed.